My name is Naili, and somehow I find time to work my 9 to 5 as a senior product designer, create art, exercise, cook, participate in a career fellowship, spend time with my partner, make videos for YouTube, and keep in touch with those that I love and care about. I can't say that it's always easy or that I'm perfect at doing it all, but I've been able to craft a life that allows me to make the most of each moment and make strides towards my long-term goals. And today I'm sharing the 3 core strategies that have helped me get here. The first strategy is to get clear on your priorities. When you have a clear idea of what you're focused on or what your overall mission is, it liberates you from doing things that simply take away time from the things that truly matter. So the next time an event or a meeting or a project comes up, take the time to ask yourself, is this contributing to what I value? And is this contributing to my goals? This first strategy is not about completing as many tasks as you can or completing tasks in general, but it's about completing the right tasks, the ones that truly matter, the ones that are going to take you from where you are now to where you want to be in the future. As Stephen Covey once said, the key is not to prioritize your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. By identifying what's truly important to us, we can make sure that we're using our time in the most effective way possible. If you need a bit more clarity on understanding what your goals or passions are, I created another video already, which I'll link in the description below, about finding what your passion is. Okay, our second strategy is to cut out all distractions. It can be really easy to let ourselves get distracted by social media, emails, random texts, or phone calls, but these can really eat up into our productivity. According to a study done by the University of California, it takes an average of 23 minutes or so to get back into the groove of an activity after you've been distracted. And just take a moment to think about how many times we get distracted by our phones each day, and if each one of those eats up into 23 minutes or so of productivity, that's a lot of time. And when it comes to distractions, it's not only time that we're losing, but quality of work as well. Because when we're distracted and we're constantly switching between tasks, we're technically multitasking, which doesn't really allow us to give our full attention to either thing. This could lead to the task taking way longer than it needs to take, or us making unnecessary mistakes in the process. By cutting out distractions, we're not only maximizing our time, but also ensuring that the time we do have is being used to its fullest potential. So what are some of the ways that I cut out distractions in my life? Well, one is that I try to set aside certain time blocks to check my phone throughout the day. So whether that's in the morning, at lunch, and then in the evening. But setting aside these designated times to be on my phone allows me to batch together all the tasks I have to do on my phone in that one instance, instead of constantly checking my phone throughout the day. Another way is to use apps that can help block or set certain time limits on apps. One of the apps that I've been using that has actually been very, very effective, probably the most effective one I've ever used, is called 1sec. For this app, 1sec, you can set it up with multiple apps, but the free version allows you to set it up with one app. I currently have it connected to Instagram, and every time that I open Instagram, it comes up with this pop-up that forces me to take a moment to just take a breath. And then it shows me how many times I've tried to open Instagram in the day, as well as the last time that I checked it. And taking those few seconds of breathing allows me to remember, hey, I checked Instagram 30 minutes ago. There's probably not anything new for me to see on here. I don't need to check it right now. And my favorite way to cut out distractions is to simply follow the out of sight, out of mind rule, which is when something is not readily visible or readily near you, you're way less likely to get distracted by it. So I've seen this to be really helpful at work. I see that I check my phone a lot less if I simply just put it behind me. So this is my workspace, so maybe I'll set the phone, over there on the table. And as a bonus, this also works in a great way for things that you do want to see or use more. For example, water. If you're trying to drink more water, you're going to be more likely to drink water if it's right there in front of you. The third strategy I use is to always write things down. People who write down their tasks are more likely to stick to them and therefore are more productive as a result. There was a study done at Wake Forest University that really proved how writing things down can be so powerful. They observed that people underperformed on a task when they were unable to finish an activity that came right before it. But when participants were allowed to make a plan for the thing that they didn't finish before, so they were allowed to make a plan in which they mapped out how they were going to finish this activity later on, they substantially improved their performance on the following task. So why is this? Well, writing down your tasks allows you to clarify your thoughts, organize your time, and prioritize your work. When you see tasks written down in front of you, it becomes easier to plan and visualize your day, which can really help you stay on track towards your goals. But it's not just about writing down your tasks, it's also about writing them in ways that are manageable and productive for you. My system for writing down tasks and keeping track of what I have to do includes two main locations, Google Calendar and Notion. For tasks that are more urgent, that need to be at the top of my mind for the day, I write those down in Google Calendar. Things like pay rent or pick up milk at the grocery store. For more longer term tasks or goals, I write those down in Notion. So perhaps a goal like submit art proposal by X date. I'll write that down in Notion as an overall goal for me, and then I'll break that down into manageable chunks, which I'll set in Google Calendar. I'll set aside the time blocks in which I'm going to work on that art proposal, and I'll create specific tasks for each couple days or whatever the cadence is for me to work on that specific goal. As the famous time management expert Alan Lincoln said, time equals life. So waste your time, waste your life, or master your time and master your life. I hope this video kickstarted some ideas on how you can take full control of your time and therefore full control of your life this year. If you need some help getting clarity on the first strategy, figuring out what your goals and values are, I recommend watching my video on finding your passion, where I have two main activities that'll help you figure this out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.